Okay, ready.
Okay, so now that we have learned the notes for this piece, I think it's time that we start talking about word stress. So who knows what the translation is of this text? Maybe like the first like 3 measures. Does anyone have an idea? Taylor.
Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world.
Okay, Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world. Who knows the next part?
The next part is have mercy on us, have mercy on us.
Awesome. Okay, so we have Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. So I want to experiment a little bit with how we say things. So we're all going to go around and we're just going to take the English translation, you take away the sins of the world, and we're all going to say it differently than the person right before us. So I could say it as, you take away the sins of the world, and that's just one interpretation. So Jeremiah, do you want to go?
Sure. You take away the sins of the world.
Good.
You take away the sins of the world.
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 So what did we notice about that exercise?
When you emphasize different words of the sentence, it's still the same sentence, but the what's important changed.
Yeah. What we're trying to do changed. What the context changed. And we kind of get this when it's in English, but it's really important when we're singing another language and our audience doesn't know the other language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's another part of this? So you have the word inflection, but what's underneath the word inflection?
The note?
There's notes, that's true.
Sort of the meaning stress, like
Yeah.
certain words are more important than others.
Yeah, and part of that's like emotion. So what happens when we repeat something? Why do we repeat things?
For emphasis?
For emphasis. Does anyone have any other ideas?
Because they're important and need to be said more than once.
Important, so emphasis, importance. One thing that I like to think about, so we say Lamb of God, Lamb of God. If I say Lamb of God, I might be trying to get you to do something. So if I was trying to get you to do something, why would I say it again?
To reinforce that idea.
Maybe to reinforce it, but maybe I'm also trying another tactic.
Mm.
So I might be the first time saying like Lamb of God and like pleading, and the next time I might be more assertive because that didn't work the first time. So I want you guys to all take 5 seconds, make a decision about 2 tactics. Like how you're going to say something. It might be like an emotion, it might be what you're actively trying to do. And now I want you to repeat Lamb of God to your neighbor using your 2 tactics. Okay?
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God. Lamb of God.
Yeah, I kind of thought this.
It's like
I don't think I did that right.
I imagine my 2 tactics being like trying to get
Awesome.
attention.
So everyone wrap that up.
Okay, now I have a question.
Yeah.
Who wants to share one with the class? Yes.
The 2 of us had kind of the same idea. The first one almost so quiet, like we were fearful of saying something. So, it was like Lamb of God and getting a little bit more confidence. Lamb of God,
I really like that idea. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to put it into at least part of the piece. We're going to start at measure 9 and just go to measure 16. So can we have the start at measure 8 actually with you? difference than when we sang it before?
Yeah.
Mm.
What did you notice?
Well, I felt more connected to the text. Like it wasn't just me saying it. It was like, oh, this has emotion behind it now.
Awesome.
I thought the sound was fuller, like we were more connected with our body and the sound when we were connected with the text.
Good. Well, those are obviously things, well, I think it's obvious, but those are things that I would really like to hear, and I hope you do too. So what's something else that we do while we talk that might help us explain what we're doing?
Hand gestures.
Gestures. So I want us to all stand up, and we're going to do it again, but we're going to really get into our body and like use gestures like we're explaining this to someone. So we're going to start at that same spot. Great, I really liked those gestures, and maybe we won't do those in performance, but I think it really added something to what we were doing. Is that 7?
30 seconds, yeah.
30 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna do this one more time really fast, and I want everyone to really look at each other and see other people's ideas of what this text means. We're just gonna lighthouse around, look at each other. Okay. I really like that. I think that had a lot more connection than we had before, and I really encourage you guys to keep exploring this.
Okay, thank you.
Yay!
I really liked your ideas. They were nice.
Yes.
Talking about the text, I love the idea of speaking the text differently all the way around. It was very interesting and kind of really enlightening, wasn't it? You're a member of the group.
I know.
Okay, we're all going to work
we'll help
on
each
that
other.
this quarter,
Yeah.
guys. We're all going to work on this. And I think good ideas all the way through, but too much talk before singing. It was almost 4 minutes before we sang. So make sure that maybe you do the first thing that you did, and then you somehow apply that to the music. Then do the next part of what you did.
More like
So that we're
scaffolding.
always going back to singing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just, we're engaged, but some people are going to start zoning out if they're
Yeah.
not as committed to what we're doing here as we all are. So always be taking it back to the music and seeing how whatever you did fits. I like the idea that when we did sing, afterwards you had us respond to what we heard. That's good. And then you immediately added the gestures. I thought your ideas were good, your concepts were good, but just layer it a bit more
Yeah, more
with us performing in a sense, to put that into practice, and I think that'll be helpful. Also, you're struggling with not having your conducting on autopilot
Yeah.
yet. And so you're thinking, where's one? I can feel you going, where's one? Where's two? And by this point in a rehearsal, you don't want to be thinking about
Yeah,
that.
no.
So you just want to get that, because when you're doing it, when it's lovely, it really is reinforcing, but when you're kind of worried about which direction your hand is going, then it doesn't physically reinforce us as well.
Yeah.
Good. Some really good ideas.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Next.